Greetings, world. Welcome to a Mental Rolodeck live podcast, episode 3. Our featured guest, Chantrice Mogul. Greetings, Queen.
How's it going?
Welcome back.
Yeah, I don't know what just happened.
Yeah, like I stated, greetings, Queen.
How's it going?
I'm well. What about yourself?
Good, good.
That's awesome. Work in progress. So, therefore, we're going to get it right. The topic of today is the difference in perspective between men and women. What's your thought on that?
I mean, I think that when it comes to a lot of things, we have a difference in perspective. But sometimes I want to say that at the end of the day, we have the same conclusion. My point coming from a woman is sometimes I think that men downplay women's conclusion and the other way around. I feel like women can see it from both ends of the spectrum, but when it comes to men, I feel like they only see it as a one-sided equation to
That's
most things in life.
that's funny because I actually have the total opposite pertaining to that. I feel like with women, it's an illusion, and I grasp what y'all want to grasp, and y'all create what y'all want to create.
Mhm.
Period. Period. And sometimes through that mental creation, it creates conflict between your other counterpart. Care to interject?
I mean, yeah, but at the end of the day, I think that women are more in tune to be people pleasers in general. So, you know what I mean? Like men, they don't pick up on the opposite feelings, versus think about it. If you walked in the house, your mother is more inclined to be like, "Oh, how you feeling?" than your dad.
I
Because
mean,
we care.
it's not that men don't care. It's just that we have a difference in how we show it, the way we show it. You know, um, you guys might say, for instance, come off in a nurturing way and so on and so forth. A man comes off more as a blank slate where it's like, yo, we're good, we're okay, we're fine. That's what it is. That's how it is. I'll talk to you in a second. Let me deal with this. In women press more,
True.
and I feel like when y'all press more, y'all create illusions again. Because, say for instance, like I've watched the live recording on the love languages, right? And there's another title called Jackal language, and he was speaking on the difference in how men view things versus women. And he's like, okay, a man would be in his head and it's just black and white. He has a box for every single thing that he deals with. The wife is in a box, the kids is in a box, um, car, house chores is in the box. Everything is isolated. But when his wife says, "Hey,
Mhm.
let me in," she come in and change the entire dynamic from black and white. And instead of things being in a box individually, they're now compiled into one thing,
Yeah, I could see that perspective.
basically. But we
I
were,
mean, but like,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
but specifically when it comes to the dating field, the dating realm, um, I think it's a lot of miscommunication, I, and honestly, I think it's more a frustration on men's part. And on my view, coming from a woman, I feel like they're more frustrated because men are usually used to having the advantage on most things in life. But dating is one of those things where, they kind of don't have the control that they would like to in a situation. You know what I mean? Like, you've been told, okay, if I do this, this, and this, I can get this kind of girl and everything will line up. But then they do this X, Y, and Z. And then that girl that they thought that they could get from doing that is like, I don't want you. And you're like, wait, what?
True.
And them not being able to control the situation is where I think their frustration comes.
Um, I agree and I disagree within the same sense. I feel like you guys always had the upper hand, like as far as dating relationship goes. Because wherever a woman go, the man go. Period.
Right.
Um,
Right.
I just feel like the biggest gripe is the eyes that are around us, right? Because a lot of things that we care about, and I'm speaking on both sides, male and female, if we didn't care about people actually seeing it and watching what's going on at that particular time,
Hmm.
there wouldn't be an issue because there's eyes on what's going on. There's an issue. Like perfect example to sum it up in a nutshell. If say I had the opportunity to get a pair of sneakers, right? And that sneakers was
Hmm.
not name brand, right? And
Hmm.
everybody within the mist had the same sneakers. It was not name brand, it's what's popular, it's what the parents of the household can afford, right? So given the fact that everybody has the sneakers, there's no laughing. There's no bullshit like ha ha ha. Look, he has some fake this on and this is that and the third. Everybody would understand what it really is. But I feel like we aim to be important to please other people and forget that we're the one in the situation and we're the one that has to deal with what we need to deal with at that particular time. I feel like we pretend to be something we're not, and that creates a conflict of actually being our true self and aiming to get who we need to get at what point we need to get them. Kind of like, dude, was it Kevin Samuel? We had a
Hmm.
conversation. We had a conversation about his perspective on how he deal with certain things, and you say he inflates men's ego and he lied to us, and I feel like um he does the same thing to men that he does to the female. And in the beginning, I was like, "Yo, he's harsh. He's this. He's that. Whatever, whatever." When I stepped back and started really listening to him, he made sense.
Yeah.
Most of us don't like nobody to interrupt our illusion. It's like we're on
But
high and we don't want to
but
lose
see the
that
thing
high. Go ahead.
but see the thing about that is that, you know, I said I don't necessarily agree with, I mean, disagree with everything he says. Some of the things that he says are legit, but what you're telling me is an illusion. It's all an individual basis. You're telling me that what I want is an illusion when what I want is usually what I get. So it's on an individual basis. It's only delusional when these people are saying, this is what I want. But it's like, son, you've never been able, you've never dated a supermodel. Like, why are you saying that you want supermodels now? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you've never had access to those type of women. Or for women, you've never had access to that type of man. So why are you saying that that's your requirement now when, you know?
But what's wrong with that though? It's the truth, right? It's kind of like,
Because it would be, because you can want all day, but is that your reality? I could want a basketball player husband right now, but have I ever met a basketball player? Have I ever been introduced to a basketball player? Do I even know where to find one? Like, you know, and then once, if I could get that far, do I have what it takes to compete for a basketball player?
but why you gotta compete though? The thing that I don't understand, like, I think we've been like giving things different meaning that really mean one thing. Like we're taking the black and white out of the black and white and adding color to it. Right? We're taking the simplicity out of life and making it difficult. Like um like I said earlier, there's eyes on everyone, so everyone create this illusion, right? But if you like someone, you go get them. If it's no, it's no. You move on, right? It's just like a
Correct.
job. If you're disqualified from that job, you have to make yourself more valuable for that job. You have to
Right.
research that job, right? You got to
Hmm.
know what that company upholds and what they stands for in order to
Right.
sell yourself, right?
Right. Exactly. I agree with that.
But it doesn't mean that you're not deserving. But if you say you're not
Hmm.
deserving, you're making it that way.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that that's what you're not deserving, but your personal capabilities. We all know what we're personally capable of, what our personal best is. You know what I mean? In most things in life. So yes, as an individual, I feel like I deserve the world. You know what I mean? But is it capable? Am I capable to run up on I don't know. I'm gonna say Michael B. Jordan. All the hoes like him. Am I capable to run up to a Michael B. Jordan, spit my best game or whatever have you, and he snacks? You know, probably not.
Why, like, if you run up on him, it shouldn't be game that
And
you
wait, listen.
speak.
And in my head, that's Michael B. Jordan's loss. But you know, he would be like going on somewhere. So you know what you're capable of.
But that's the illusion. Tori said, drop the gender. People need to be accountable for their actions. And I agree with that, but we're not the one that m- make it about gender. Society does, right? Society been spinning this for the longest. And in actuality, we kind of do have to speak of gender because there's a difference in the way we view and act as a male and a female. So you have to separate the two. That's my perspective. But what's
Mm,
your beef with Kevin
yeah,
Samuel?
My beef with Kevin Samuels is that I feel like he's selling aspiration. The man that he describes doesn't really exist.
Says
And
who? Have you met him? How you know he
the
don't exist?
the academic six-figure man that, what does he says, that every man wants to be and every woman wants to sleep with. It just who dresses nice and he's confident and has charisma. That is that man don't exist, but he don't.
Yes,
He
he
does
does.
not.
He
I
does.
mean, I've seen it in some athletes,
He
but
does.
athletes either are, I doubt, the type of people that follow Kevin Samuels. More academic, lame. I hate to use the term lame, but for conversation's sakes, we're going to use that terminology today. But more your academic, square, lame type dudes follow Kevin. So he's selling them a bunch of hoopla of the man that in their mind they want to be,
But
but
look,
it's not possible
but
because
look
that
how
man
y'all get it
does not
confused.
exist.
But look how y'all get it confused, right? Cause these dudes do exist, but you know where these dudes play in outside of the field of the NBA and other fields. These dudes are your what do you call them? Say for instance, like a dude that does HVAC, a plumber, and so on and so forth. They have these dudes, but due to the title description of these men, most women feel as if they don't qualify. And that's an issue because you're looking at the job description of this man and thinking like, oh nah, he a plumber. Oh, he don't make as much money as the basketball player and some. Do you know how much a plumber make? Like kind of like what he said in the interview. And plumbers,
Plumbers make good money.
there's
That's a mistake a young chick will make.
that's what I'm saying. But certain women view these men as such, like, oh, he's not, he can't talk to me, so on and so forth. And I feel like that's incorrect teaching because even for me, like I drive trucks. I'm not gonna disclose what I make,
Mhm.
but hey, it's there. It's above six figures. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, fam, you're just gonna look at me because
Yeah.
you see me in a such and such clothing or a uniform, be like, oh, he ain't shit.
Well, I don't think it's that. It's that a lot of women, especially more the types with a educated type who does make a decent or maybe to high income. I feel like white collar women want white collar men, and they, even though we know that blue collar men can make a lot of money, like your truck drivers and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for some reason, I feel like they don't feel like you are necessarily on their level.
Okay.
That's not me personally, but that's what I get from them. They want someone, I want to be like, oh, you went to this college? I went to this college. And, and bounce off that. Not the, oh, I didn't go to college. And it like, you know what I mean? It's a step down for them. I think it's a mental thing.
But at the end of the day, it's not your degree that requires love. It's you.
Exactly.
And
Exactly. And
education
you have
doesn't end
to,
in school.
exactly. I mean, and this is why a lot of those women tend to be single. So,
And that's the thing
you
that
know,
pisses me off because on one end they're like, oh, there's not enough men around for me, or there's not a man for me, right? Most of these women,
mhm,
they go out, they go enjoy, and they do these things, and they put themselves in a predicament, like they gravitate to the thug or whatever you want to call them, like versus
yeah.
asking the guy, like, are you available? Like, are you sincerely available?
Hmm.
You hear what I'm saying? are you
Yeah.
willing to do such and such? I feel like we go into relationships, are we with a materialistic mindset? Because
Of
like,
course.
let
I
me speak
mean,
on my big brother for a sec. Like my big
mhm,
brother, like Duke can change for the year without wearing the same thing, right? Has
mhm.
the has the nice car, so on, handsome dude, whatever, whatever. But all he has to do is stand by his car to get a female.
Yes.
And when I was coming up, when I was in high school, it would take me 6 months before I can get inside a female's panties or even think of
Mhm.
stripping her out her clothes. Now that shit goes like this. It's like magic, and she's naked. There's nothing more left to the mind state to like, yo, I need to wonder what she's like or whatever. It's just easy as one, two, three. And y'all could say the same thing for men.
True. It's not hard to
We're
get
not
them draws.
we're not wow. We're not educated. We're not educated on relationships. And you guys
Um,
been sold a lie ever since y'all was a child. Like the dolly houses, the strollers, and so on and so forth.
but we at the end of the day, I don't know who we need to be angry at because it seems like we've all been lied to. And this one guy was like, "Oh, he has a term that he uses that whore culture is popular now." I don't like to use that term because I don't believe that's necessarily true. I mean, but if it is, it's because you know some at one point we learned that being a good girl and doing what you're told you're supposed to do and being nice and listen to a man and blah 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 doesn't pay off. And I think that the opposite, I feel like the square dudes are feeling that way too, that being the nice guy never really got them laid.
Yeah, that shit's overrated.
And they having to wait 6 months,
You got jokes. I
to
literally went
get
through
with a
that.
chick.
I literally went through that.
you know, but I'm saying, so it's like you got, yeah, I get it, I get it, but at some point, it's really self accountability when it comes to and then it's like even okay, so you say your brother's nice and got this not stand by his car and will get a chick. Yeah, but it's like you did all this to stand by your car to get this chick, and then you're mad that she's a gold digger. Like,
But it's not
come on.
just that. It's not just that. It's not just about getting the chick because if she's looking at the materialistic things, she don't know who this dude is. You know what I'm saying? She really don't know what he has to offer. For all she know, that could be a rental. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So the superficial,
Yeah.
shallow beliefs gotta go. And like Queen said
Hmm.
earlier, we need to hold each other accountable. And I feel like once we do that, then we can remain in our truth. Because there is this conflict
Yeah.
between man and woman. And I feel like we're screaming for the same things, but just in different ways.
Really, really. At the end of the day, and it baffles me how, because it's to me it's mostly men online being vocal right now. It baffles me how they don't understand that they're screaming for the same thing that your stereotypical angry black woman has been screaming for this whole time.
Mm, but why y'all so mad at Shahrazad Ali?
I don't mess with her because she,
Tells the truth.
gosh, I forgot about. No, she just is. Why you?
She tells the
She's
truth.
unrealistic. Like I want to know how many of her own daughters even. go by her book. And ain't she been with, she's the type of woman too who I don't think they believe in like legal marriage. I think her and her man been
Oh,
together for like 25 years or something, but they ain't married on paper. Girl, get out my face.
is it they're not married in the Eurocentric
You're,
system,
yes,
but they're
the one
married.
that matters.
They're married. It doesn't matter. It actually does. It matters to the government or the state that's taking your bread and trading that bond on the
Yeah.
stock market. But she has a contract. Like, and I
Listen,
feel like that's the thing too. Like,
we
if you
live in America. In an American context, you being married on paper matters. Imagine if all these girls out here would fall for a man, be like, what the white man think of our relationship don't matter. Like, we know what we got. That's the quickest way to be somebody's baby mama. And
wait,
10 years later, he move on to the next. Like, come on.
but wait. Is it the paper that's married or is it you? Um,
Well, we're
no,
married,
the
but if
contract is
it's just a
between
piece
you
of
and her.
paper, then what's the problem with signing it?
But why you have to sign that paper? Do you know the bounds that that paper holds?
Yes, because it has to be.
Okay,
It shouldn't be your relationship, your marriage shouldn't be something that somebody could just get tired of and just walk out the door. If that's like being a boyfriend and girlfriend, if we're tired of each other, we could just break up.
no,
No, this is a marriage. You are stuck in this like a contract. We're
but it is a
together. We're working
but
this out.
it is a contract, queen, because at the end of the day, like take for instance,
Yes, a legal one.
it is, but it's between, okay, like take for is it
If we lived in villages, if we lived in villages, none of this would matter.
wow.
But
And
everyone
take
everyone in the village would acknowledge this union, and they know that Sheila and Tom are together. They're a
wow.
family unit over there. She's off bounds. We would have done whatever ceremony that this village requires that symbolizes that we're together, we're a family.
You know
We
you
don't
can
live in
get
villages anymore.
you can get a like you can get married without the license, right? Without you
Common
actually have
law.
to, yes, without you actually have to sign that certificate. So most people like say Muslim marriages, it is a
Hmm.
contract, and I think it's called I forgot, I don't know, I don't want to use the wrong term, but they come together like, okay, the man will provide say 10 grand
Hmm.
to the woman or her family, right?
Hmm.
And they're
Hmm.
written certain things within a contract, right? So if that
Right.
contract is broken, he
Hmm.
can't take that money back. It's based on how they
Hmm.
structure that contract. There is still a contract.
Right.
It's just that there is not a bond being
Hmm.
circulated in the stock market and other people's making money apart from you. And now that you
And
mentioned that and the way you spoke of marriage, who benefits more from marriage anyway but the woman?
no, I would disagree. I would
Materialistically
say
speaking.
materialistically, me marrying your average black man is not just going to change my life in so many ways.
So
It,
why
marriage is more on the woman. It's more of companionship, and it's literally I need this man's partnership to help me raise these children. If the day that these feminists find out a way to bypass that,
wow.
is you'll see the decline even more so for marriage. But yes, you women need the males, his income and his partnership to raise these children. Obviously there are single mothers out there that do it every day, but that's not the ideal situation. you know so that's why. But women, your quality of life, ask your mother. At the
Wow.
end of the day, the mom is the last person to get checked up on. Nobody cares about mom.
That's a lie. And if, as a man, if you care too much about your mom, oh, you're a mama's boy. Everything he goes to his mama about, and Ray, and this is that and the third. Okay, so Ryan said,
Yeah, I mean, you care about your mother when you get older.
black men call women queen, but don't treat them as such. Um,
Mm,
It depends on who the man is.
yeah,
And
I
not
would
every
say
man
yeah.
has a throne to place a queen upon it, or every man has the angle to actually make her a queen. But rightfully so, within her presence, she is. But back to the matter at hand, right? Materialistically speaking, if you look for that man for companionship and so on, you don't need the grand wedding, right? You don't need him to have a catering of food that costs like 5 grand. Your
No, we
wedding
don't need that,
your
but
wedding don't need to be 100 racks or 50 racks. And then once you're
we don't
married,
need that. But everyone knows that the wedding ceremony is for the family.
which family?
Come on. The family, the attending, because traditionally a marriage is the combination of two families. The ceremony and the celebration and stuff, it's for the family. That you're usually sitting back somewhere. Look at any like traditional marriage, like in like Islam or like Indian weddings or whatever. The bride and the groom are rarely like really enjoying that shit. It's the families that are partying it up, you know?
So let them pay feet then.
Okay. Well, that is not.
No, what I'm looking at is I'm looking at the aftermath,
Listen,
right? So
and
here you
that is
go.
the last celebration a woman is going to have for herself either. That's supposed to be centered around her. After that, think about it. The next thing your mother gets is her 50th birthday.
No, that's the thing. I feel like that's where the conversation comes into play. Because I was born in Jamaica. They do things differently.
Mhm,
Like most of the time, every birthday is a celebration and so on, right? I feel like
mhm,
we got or get into relationships and the same effort we took to get into that relationship or get that person, we don't hold those up anymore. We come in, we sit down on the couch, we watch TV, we get fat, we cook, we eat, so on and so
mhm,
forth. Okay, perfect example, and I'm happy he's here. That's really Ryan is really a great friend of mine, right?
mhm,
I could say genuine, true friend, like person I actually
mhm.
claim to be a friend, right? And
Right.
one of the things I love about this king is every year is a brand new adventure for him, his wife, and his kids.
Mhm,
Traveling, seeing different things, and so on and so
mhm,
forth. You get what
mhm.
I'm saying? And he
Yeah.
busts his ass for everything he has obtained. And I've seen the growth all the time. So I always salute him.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But for me, in
Yeah.
certain perspective, 9 times out of 10, most women just come and eat. They're not
Mhm,
there for the process. Like when I'm working, how I feel like boom, I might slip a disc in my back, but I'm not going to tell workers comp because I can't afford to take the time off because I know I got to
mhm.
provide for the fam. The
Right.
extra things that men do most of the time is not appreciated. You
Mm,
know, and most of y'all sit back and watch TV, whether
mm,
it's the Kardashians or whoever y'all watch, and feel
mhm.
like that should be your life too.
Um,
And that's not
you
realistic.
know, if you marry a lazy woman like that, that's something you just gotta charge to the game because my best example is my best friend, for example. She has 4 boys. Her husband's in the Navy. Um, everything is I mean, when she first met him, he had just got in the military and he could not wait to get out. He could wait until his 4 years is up. He was gonna get out. He was gonna go to Nutbush, Texas, wherever hole he came from, and was gonna be done with it. She saw the potential in him and she was like, no, you're not going to do that because we're not quitters. This is what you're going to do. They stuck to the plan. Regardless, what I'm saying is that she has been on with there from day one through his personal growth journey. And he went from being an E1 in the military. Now he drives ships and is an officer. and 4 kids later, and all that work, and to say that she would sit at home all day. No, she's not a lazy mother. If you would, I'm not going to say her Facebook, go on her Facebook now. They're always doing something. Road trips, as a family, vacations. I mean, all kind of stuff. Like her children have seen more of the US than most black kids their same age. They all have passports, like really on their shit, not just sitting at home watching TV and getting fat, putting these kids in front of the TV, not learning nothing on their iPads all day.
But
Like,
speak for the average woman and the
but
average man.
when it comes to her, though, think about the appreciation that she gets. Not much. I mean, her birth, I can't even remember the last time she's really celebrated her birthday like big like that. We've been trying to plan a girls trip. She's been on several vacations with her family, but we've been trying to plan a girls trip, just us girls, for like ever. Can never find the time for herself to do so, for us to go somewhere. And I mean, does she get a thank you at the end of the day? No, it's just business as usual.
Is she
That's most mothers.
is she complaining about it? Because I'm
No,
looking at what you're
no, she would
saying.
never. No, she would never complain about it. No,
I'm looking at what
at
you're
least not to
saying.
them.
I'm looking at what you're saying. And if she has the time to go on family vacations every year, she can take time
Mm-hmm,
off. She can structure that same plan and go on
mm-hmm.
trips, girl trips, if she may. I feel like we find time for what we want to do.
What we want, yeah, but it's a matter of getting someone to watch the kids. That's
So that's not the
for a
man's
week.
fault though.
No, it's not his fault. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying at the end of the day, mothers get the least love.
I, I can beg to differ because I
Like,
mean,
we're the burnt out. Her kids don't care that she's been up since 7 this morning, and it's 10 o'clock at night, and like, mothers are the first one up, last one to bed, like, because to making sure that everybody else is good.
but
and
isn't that part of the
and then at the
household
end of
though?
the night, when you get into bed, then you got to perform your wifely duties.
But
That's a
you're
whole
funny.
nother.
You're so funny. But isn't that a part of isn't that a part of
At least
what
the man can look forward to that shit.
makes a woman? Like, because the
Being exhausted? No.
no, I'm not speaking on being exhausted. It's kind of like this, right? Like I hear people complain about
Like,
like
this is what we're supposed to do, so why are you complaining? Type shit.
yeah, like for instance, if say the kids live with me, right? Like, and
Mm-hmm.
I've heard women speak on this. Say the kids live with me, right? I shouldn't be coming to you talking about, oh, I got this bill and that bill to pay. That's BS.
Right.
I have those bills regardless if they're under my roof or not. You get what I'm
Right.
saying? And because
Mm-hmm.
you want your own and you structure it where you have a roof over your head, those bills fall into line with that roof being over your head. So it's not the kid's fault. So you don't have to emphasize on it like, oh, I got this bill to pay, I got that bill to pay. So does everybody else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And I feel like
Yeah.
whatever a female, a queen, or a woman want to do, they can do. They just have to understand that success doesn't happen overnight in an abrupt fashion. It takes time.
I agree.
It's easy
I
to
can
get
agree to that.
rich. It's more difficult to grow wealth. Riches and wealth is two different things. One lasts
Yeah.
longer. You know what I'm saying? So we just need to. I feel like every black, most. I mean, I say every because I'm about to get killed, but most black men and most black women don't want to be successful and nothing they do because they want the abrupt fame and glory. So when I come out and I say something
Mm,
that's true based on your perspective, you feel some type of way. But regardless of how you feel, it doesn't make it not true. But these illusions you all create is a different story.
I I can agree with most of that.
Really? You can agree?
Yeah.
It's like the
I
first
I,
time I
I
hear you, you sound like you don't really have nothing to say. That's weird. You normally got a lot. Don't get silent on me now.
cause
Don't get silent on me now.
no. Well, I can just agree to disagree on that because at the end of the day, there's so many ways that I can put it, but essentially we're saying what we've been saying, the same thing, that you're men see it one way, we see it the other way, and it's like there's no way of explaining it that the other person's going to be like, yeah, that totally makes sense. It just ain't happening.
I mean, but it can. See, the thing is, we need to stop trying to change each other and just
On an individual
understand each
basis, it can.
other and conjure a plan. Like you stated, Queen has a plan. They stuck to the plan because we need you guys as much as y'all need us, right? To continue our
Right.
generation, you need a woman and vice versa. But I hear the new speak now. Oh, I don't need a man, yo. I don't need a girl. That's bullshit, yo. You know how lonely it is being by yourself sometimes. Sometimes you just want to smell somebody.
Yeah.
You just want to have
But
somebody to speak to.
yeah, I think that my grifle specifically is with the, like I said, the vocal minority of little angry men online. It's like they came out of nowhere overnight. These little square dudes that are like I said, mostly like your Kevin Samuels type of followers. They really have like a cult following now. And it's making like it's making regular guys like pay attention to them, and it's like, no, they're pathetic. Do not fall into that category.
What makes a man pathetic? What make
This
what makes a what make what makes
self-loathing.
a what makes a man a square?
um I don't use, like I said, I hate to use the terms like lame and stuff, but square is not necessarily an insulting term that I'm using. I'm using it as like a personality type. Just very, you know what I mean? You're not no thug or no, super macho guy in your face. You're just a square type guy. You live a square life.
So
There's nothing wrong
so
with that.
timid. So you mean like more timid men?
Yes. It's
Okay.
regular dudes. Just
Okay.
out here living their life.
Yeah, average.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I've even referred to myself as like a square type female because, like, I'm not about that ghetto shit and that kind of life. I live a square lifestyle. I like crime investigation shows, like like that type. But yeah, like they're like just self-loathing. It's like, oh, I can't get a woman to submit to me, and
What chart are we
I'm a
using?
provider, so I have a dick between my legs, so you should want to submit to me. Like, dude, that's not how this life works.
Let's touch base on that. Let's talk about that. Submission.
Yes, submission. So
I'm
what
I'm confused.
they want it in the terms of, because when women get into loving relationship with men, I feel like submission is the natural route that things go. Even if you don't vocalize it, it tends to be how things just work out. The man usually takes the more masculine role in the relationship, and you just kind of fall back and submit if things are going nicely.
But
But if things are not, that woman will, it's almost like they feel like I said, the dick between their legs is the reason why they should be the masculine one in the relationship and you should automatically submit. When, dude, that dick between your legs is not making you more essentially masculine than this woman that you're with.
oh
Like,
boy,
you know what I
illusions
mean?
again, right?
That's not. Uh, Explain that to me, because from what I can see, a lot of these chicks be, and it's an individual relationship basis, but a lot of these chicks be dominating them. So if your woman is dominating you for whatever reason it may be, this woman that you've chose is dominating you, you be like, well, when we go out, you need to submit to me.
This is
Nah, bruh. It's
this is
not
funny.
working out for you.
This is funny. I'm gonna put this on the screen. He said, "Why are you not wearing a mask? I need to wear a mask in my house." Anyway, stop being a troll. um, that's funny. But submission, being submissive, submit to me. Why do I wanna? Why do I want a slave? Why would I want you to submit to me when you're you? And the reason why I'm in
Because
this relationship with you is because you're you. You're a female. I can't portray that. I can't have kids. I can't do none of that you can bring, and vice versa. So I think we need to remove that submission bullshit and just realize, yo, you're you and I'm me, and come to some
well,
mutual understanding.
I wouldn't even say that submission is necessarily bullshit, because
It
in a
depends.
relationship, someone naturally takes the role. But notice I said naturally. If that's not naturally you, then the point of us being together is that we like to play in a relationship, in a good relationship, we're playing off each other's strengths. And for example, my best friend, for back to her, she's a natural born leader. She finds herself in leadership positions even when she doesn't volunteer for them. Like, in any situation. So in her relationship, she kind of naturally takes the lead. Now, does she dominate her husband? No. He has his own voice. He don't like some shit. She'll always tell you, what my husband says goes. But on a day-to-day basis, she kind of takes the lead in situations. Now, why would he be like, nah, you ain't even asked me. Like, why did you just buy that? Like, come on, why would you try to dominate someone when that's really not what you're that good at? Like, you know what I mean? Just let it happen. Like, don't feel like you need to put it's almost like they need to show face to these other men. You see, look, my woman did whatever I tell her to do. Like, so you can prove to these other men you got balls. Like, man, come on.
Remember what I said in the beginning? If there was nobody around, right? A lot of this shit would not matter.
Exactly.
And
Wouldn't matter.
and if you want a woman to submit, are you gonna submit your paycheck to her? That's just a question.
Right.
Are you gonna make sure that
Right.
she handle she handle what she needs to handle without actually asking you for that? Or let's reverse it. You're a woman, so you can change the light bulb. Do you change the light bulb just because you can change it? It goes both
Hmm.
ways. And I feel like there's a double standard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I mean, they just take it to the extreme, and I feel like it's something that just needs to get out of their head. If you're that square lame guy and you're not used to women, to people. I mean, when I'm other men you meet, like you've never been that type of big man in the streets out here. So why are you trying to bring that dynamic into your relationship? Like it's almost like they need that, like, okay, I can't get people in my daily life to see the woman that I'm in a relationship with, she gonna do it. Cause that's what I need to feel like a man.
But that doesn't make you feel like a man. Like that's why these things confuse me, right? I can go back. I could flip it on you and say, hey, okay, you just got married. What's the point of that ring? Right? Why are you wearing a $20,000 ring on your finger, and why do you put it up every time you see other females to make sure they know that you got a nice diamond ring and you're married?
Well, that's a
Ah,
little different. The ring is to show other men that I'm off the market, and your ring is to show these hoes that you're with me.
but that's not
So
necessarily true because
a little different.
I'm in GA, and when they see the ring, they feel safe, so they come at us even harder.
They come even harder.
Yeah, like yo, he's
Well,
safe,
listen,
like
if you come even harder when you see somebody with a ring on, it ain't my fault that you're a trash person.
these terms we gotta kill. We gotta kill these
I'm
terminologies. These
saying it
terminologies.
ain't my fault that your mama's probably a hoe.
Wow. Wow. Why are you talking about gardens
I'm
from
just
Iowa?
saying.
Yeah, she's joking, by the way.
But it's and no, I think that's a manly thing because that is true. Like once again I'm gonna keep using my best friend as example. You know, she'll go on base, car full of kids, ring on her finger, and you know, she'll have to show her ID. The guy will be standing there flirting with her like, you see me with this car full of kids, all these car seats in this car, you can see that I'm married, and you're still standing here flirting with me, sir. Stop it.
Are we natural hunters, by the way? Are we?
Yes, but hunt single bitches. Why you? I'm
Uh,
already caught.
how you know she's not single and she's just wearing the ring just to wear it? Yes, it might be her kids.
No.
How I know she's not babysitting?
Listen, come
I'm
on.
just,
We
I'm
we
just
like to
saying.
make educated guesses about these things.
No, assuming make you an asshole. Don't assume. You gotta ask, right?
Listen, that's not assuming. That's an educated guess.
No, it's not. Because if I see you, I
If I
that could be your
see
nieces
you,
and nephew.
if you come pick me up on a date and there's car seats in the back, I'm gonna make the educated guess that you have children.
No, I'm not going. I'm not going to educate guests for you.
Who?
I'm gonna.
What
I'm gonna
man?
ask you. I'm gonna ask
What?
you. Do you have kids?
Well, yes, but you gotta
Yeah.
get that far first.
I mean, no, I can
But
do
I mean,
that.
when you see the kids,
Small conversations. We sipping. We having
regardless,
dinner. Come
people
on.
know what they're doing, and if you choose to approach on a visibly married person, you're a piece of shit.
What she says.
Now, if the married person gets at you, then so be it.
I
But
feel
it should never
like
be the other way around.
I feel like we need to have a realer conversation pertaining to these things that we go through and these disdain that we have for each other. Like you saying most men are lames and so on and so forth. Like we gotta chisel away that mindset, you know,
And I
and
don't
vice
use that
versa.
in a necessarily negative term, though.
So let me ask you, right? Where is
Hmm.
that list that y'all use to categorize men?
Um, there are a lot of gray areas, but me personally, there are your lame guys. Those are most of the guys on the internet, fucking bitter betties, crying and shit about submission. Um, then you've got your academic types. That's who Kevin Samuels is trying to describe, but he's a little bit off. But usually, like I said, your academic types, those are like your white collar men. Um, yeah. And then you've got um, your blue collar type men. And the reason why I like blue collar men is because they're more realistic. I feel like they're the most attractive. And most of them are just regular guys, but a lot of them got like how women like, women like bad boys. And a lot of them have like sketchy past, whatever that means to you, but used to be a thug, whatever. But now they're not. So they've got that little edge to them. And then there are your thug guys who just, we all know who they are. There's no explanation needed for that. That's how I categorize men. But I mean, to each its own.
Where did you get those categories from? Like, who has the blueprint?
No, I just pulled them out my ass somewhere.
That's funny because most women, that's the categories they speak on.
Yeah, I mean, through your dating experience, through all of my past dating experience, that's essentially where most guys fall into one of those categories.
Wow.
And I
It's
would even consider men in the service, like in the military, blue collar men too.
salute to them. Got a couple family members that's doing their thing. Homage to them.
Yeah.
So how can we get over these stereotypical scenarios pertaining to both parties?
I don't think there necessarily is any getting over them there. I think there's more of accepting it for what it is. You know what I mean? That these are stereotypes. And because when you meet someone, and in my mind, you may fall into a certain stereotype. But if I'm a decent person, I'm going to be like, oh, well, I'm going to still give them a shot. And it's up to you to prove to me that you are not this stereotype that I'm thinking in my head. Because you know what I mean?
What do you mean prove? Why must he prove anything? Why can't he just be himself?
Well, that's what I'm saying. By being yourself, you're proving to me that you're not this. I don't know what's the stereotype.
But
Um,
in order for there to be a stereotype, right?
mhm.
You have to have a list again. You're putting them on that list. So it's like you walk around with a list in your pocket.
I mean, but everybody falls on a list though visually until they don't.
Society got us screwed up.
I mean, but that's being human. If I listen, when I look at white people, I assume that most white people are racist. But when you meet one and after talking to on an individual basis and you talk to Sarah more, you realize, you know what, Sarah's really cool. Like she's not how I thought she would be at all. You know what I mean? So, but essentially by looks, I thought that Sarah was a redneck when I saw her, honestly. You know?
I don't assume I ask questions, but I'm listening.
That's what I'm saying. You ask questions once you get to know the person off of, you know what I mean? But just visually, people, you can't change your perceptions on that.
I feel like that's a programming that we all pretty much inserted within our subconscious and we walk around with it. You know, a lot of us don't even know who we really are. A lot of us are just ingesting other people's shit. And we've ingest so much shit over the years, we can't even, get a shovel to remove that shit to figure out who we really are. Because I feel like if we know who we really are versus who society is telling us we should be, a lot of the stereotypical views and the way we look at our companions and a male female type per se, it wouldn't be so. Because at the end of the day, the objective is, right, to find someone that you can suffer with in a happy way. Are you willing to go the extra
Hmm.
mile to be with this person, regardless of their flaws? Because everybody has flaws. You know, you don't know who is who. The doofiest of dude could be making millions by just sitting in his house. And you be like, oh, he's a square. Oh, I don't deal with squares.
Right.
You're assuming again, so it's like you miss out on the opportunity for somebody that really genuinely like you and want to build with you.
Yes. And only when people start to open themselves to those things, I feel like it'd be like almost too late.
It's never too late. We need to stop racing
Well, it's
time
never too
too.
late, but still, like you're 45 trying to find a genuine match for yourself when it's like, dude, you should have expanded your list at 30. Like,
Not
come
necessarily.
on. It's
Not
taking
necessarily.
you to 35 to 45 to realize that that ain't you.
I mean, imagine if dude that created KFC would have thought like that, right? He wouldn't have became a millionaire at 60.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that dude.
Yeah, look him up.
But
Like,
I get your point.
yeah, it's somebody for
But
everyone.
oh, of course.
Period.
Period. But
Here comes the but.
there is someone for everyone, but it's when you have told yourself that I am, yes, we're all worthy of being treated with respect and decency or whatever, but you're telling yourself that I have done this, I make this much money or whatever, so I deserve no less than America's Next Top Model. Like, you know what I mean? That is when the shit starts happening. It's like, dude, who do you think you are? Like, you know what I mean? Like, no.
Hey, I say
That
this.
that's when the delusion
I say
that's when the
this.
delusions feed themselves. Like, yes, you make six figures, but you have to understand Russell Simmons didn't get Kimura making six figures. Russell Simmons got Kimura being a multimillionaire.
But 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 he may have got her based on his personality and not his bank account. Got to also take that into consideration.
Yeah, I'm not gonna take that in consideration when it comes to these dudes,
See,
especially Russell.
see,
No,
see. We
absolutely
gotta, we
not.
gotta, we gotta stop that. We gotta stop
He
that.
didn't. Come on, let's be honest. He didn't. A
I
man with
don't
like him would
know. I wasn't there.
he wouldn't have to lead if you had the personality. You wouldn't have to lead with your bank account. You would have got her a long time ago. Let's be honest. Come
Wow.
on, that's a delusion.
Wow. I
You
can't
could have.
speak
You
on
He
that.
could have just stepped to her from the jump, and she was gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, he looks like a naked mole rat, but he has a really nice personality.
Yo, you stop
I'll
violating
give
the.
it to you after."
She said he looked like a naked
Like,
mole.
no, that's not what Kimura was thinking. She was
Wow.
thinking this guy is loaded, literally, and
So
who
what that say
cares what
about
his
her?
personality is like?
So what that say about her? What that say about women? Because I feel like that's most women today. That's their mindset. Like it's crazy.
That is, but it ain't. So most women today, including myself, want to be provided for, as in you can afford to take care of me and our children, and me not have to work considerably. Um, that's what most women's goal would be. I mean, does that ever happen to most of us? No. Especially black women. But that's the goal. Now, in that situation, that's an extreme situation where she's looking for millionaires. So not only is she needing to be provided for, but she's trying to live an extravagant lifestyle that
okay,
most people don't even know about.
time
So
out,
that's on some other different shit.
time out. Because this is where I say the double standards come into play. A man would take a woman that don't have half of what he have and change her life. I've
Of course.
never seen a woman take a man that don't have what she have and change his life. Y'all come with
Why
these.
would she do that?
Yeah, See what I'm saying? Y'all come
That
with these.
that doesn't benefit her to do
Yeah,
so. It
but
benefits
why
him
does
to
it? But why does it benefit the man for to?
it
Because I'm a
benefits him to
millionaire.
do so because men are not you personally, because we've had this conversation before, but men in general are physical beings. They have even said, I would rather take the 10 working at McDonald's than the 5 who's a lawyer and marry her. So, you know what I mean? Like a smart man would pick the lawyer bitch. That's adjustable 5, according to Kevin Samuels. But men specifically, they want the most beautiful women that they can obtain. And if she works at McDonald's and or shit, if she doesn't have a job at all, but she's bad, they'll take her.
But what I'm saying, why is it like that though? Because a female millionaire is not gonna
That's
pick up.
men's
It's not gonna
flawed
pick up.
mentality. A
It's not.
female millionaire is not going to do that because, once again, it does not benefit
You don't
women
know
to
that.
financially support
You, you don't
men
know
like that.
that. You don't know that. You don't know. What if dude is
How do
some?
I not know
What if dude is a philanthropist that has the greatest creation in his basement, but he needs to work at McDonald's. He just created $1 billion
that?
investment. He just needs funding, but he works at McDonald's.
Yeah, but that's not no.
Oh, it's not.
We're not
Oh,
gonna run with that.
oh,
We're
it's not
no,
realistic
no, no, no.
now.
It doesn't even it doesn't no, it's not realistic and it rarely happens. It doesn't even benefit me to invest in you because men have this habit. What do they do? When they get on, you will be left in the dust because you were what he could get when he was broke.
Wow,
Now
that's
that
not
you
true.
done funded his business and he's a millionaire now, he has access to way better women than you. So
That's
what's
not
gonna
true.
happen? You done funded this man's business and now he's out the door. That's exactly true. That's why women don't, that's a cautionary tale.
I go back to value. So what was your
Mm,
value? What were your value? Or was your value when you supposedly say picked up this man and changed his life? Right? What steps did you take? What did you do? Because most men, if you're a ride or die woman with them, they don't get up and leave you like that. Period.
um,
But if you crazy,
I would
y'all most of y'all are crazy.
that's on an individual basis too, because I would even even if hypothetically speaking, if we can, we're not going to go on personal, we're going to go on like famous people because we don't know each other's personal lives. But so like your LeBron James type, his wife is ride or die. She's been there from day one. I mean, yeah, he been there for day one, but they've been together for like what? So what's the how old is their oldest kid? Like freaking
Since they were in school,
16.
17.
Yeah, they just got married like freaking 3 years ago. They've been together for 17 years, and he still be cheating. So
Yo,
yeah,
you hear it
he's
here
still
first,
letting you along for
folks.
the ride. But it's like,
You hear it here
what?
first. You hear it here first, folks. Chantrice
I mean, it
dropping
ain't no secret.
information. We weren't aware of these informations. Please do tell.
It ain't. Yeah, it ain't no
What?
secret though. He do be cheating.
How do you know
Um,
this?
So imagine if she has been alone from day one, right? Imagine if she would have started his little business, like if he wasn't a basketball player, if he was like some kind of entrepreneur or whatever. If she would have funded his business for him to what? Still stay with me. You married me last year and you still be cheating. How did that
Wow.
benefit me to fund you?
See those stereotypical views again that I don't understand. So because dude is wealthy and he travels around different states and play ball, he's automatically cheating.
No, it's just facts that he has cheated. Like you
I
can look this up. Like
You can look it up.
he be into I mean, he be in like in like Instagram models DMs and shit. They got receipts. Come on.
Oh, so being in an Instagram model DM makes you a cheater.
Yes. Why are you talking to white Instagram models? What are you doing? You trying to
Remember?
have intelligent conversation with them? No. We're not going to be
You
stupid
remember
about
when?
this, okay?
You remember when I'm not gonna assume here, but remember when I said when we first
Come
start?
on.
Remember when I said when we first start the relationship, right? It's not the way
Yes.
we finish. For example, right? Like most women used to get sexy to attract the dude. They got the dude. They used to do all different variations of things to make sure that they're pleasured and the
Mhm.
guy is happy. But here comes marriage, here
Mhm.
comes kids. Then automatically I just start wearing these big ass bingo drawers and y'all just in the
Mhm.
crib, bitter about nothing.
Okay, so we can either talk about this or you can just run like a bitch and go cheat on me. Like, come on. Do you think that that's LeBron James' wife?
I can't speak on LeBron. I can't speak on nobody.
Remember, they're rich. They're not like the rest of us out here. So her walking around bummy with no wig on and shit, like like around their house, like not trying to sleep with them
Maybe
most
she's
night, like
comfortable. Maybe that's what makes her
comfortable
happy.
enough to cheat. Yeah, comfortable enough to cheat.
See what I'm saying? When there's eyes on you, it's like you gotta put on this facade. But when there's no eyes, nobody's seeing anything, you're just as natural as you want to.
That's not really.
So who are we really getting fly for? Who are we really putting on these shows for? Is it really for us or are we putting it on for other people?
But the point is that she been your A1 from day one and out here raising your kids in these environments that they live in and whatnot. And I was okay. You got me when you was broke because I was what you could get. But now that you're a multimillionaire and you have access to all these other women, instead of saying this woman has been loyal to me, I'm gonna stick with her, you're choosing to take those other
But he
options.
is sticking with her.
That sounds like a shit deal.
He's the first person of a basketball player that I've actually seen like he's still with the woman he started with. Everything's black
No, it's a couple of other ones too that we don't really know about who've been
because
with
their
a
shit's not on the forefront.
woman from the start. But I don't care that you still with me from the jump if you cheating. Like that means nothing. That
See,
means that I'm just the one that's sticking around.
so where's the price tag? Like this is the thing. Where's the tag of ownership? Does the ring make you own that man, or does the ring make that man own you?
Well, clearly it doesn't. It just benefits her to be married to him because if anything happens, she could have the right. But if they were normal people, I don't think that he would be out here doing the most and cheating and stuff.
Isn't that what
But
y'all
since
say?
they're not,
See, I said you said
what?
security, right? Isn't that what most women comes into a relationship talking about? Security, right? So you're saying because
Yes,
he's wealthy,
security,
he know
but
that the
at what
security is
cost
good.
though? And security, but at what cost though? And if I have to exchange one for the other, it's not worth it. In her situation, in LeBron's situation, honestly, I'm mentioning him just because I know dudes like him and his family man image and stuff. But he is actually one of the few black men who can afford to keep a wife around while he cheats. I know
But
why she's still there. I wouldn't leave either.
but
But I don't know much about Mob Marley, and I still probably wouldn't have. But regardless, but for us regular women out here who don't marry multimillionaires, it's not worth it. My peace of mind in exchange for financial security is not worth it. Is not worth a man making even $80,000 a year. It's not fucking worth it.
so what is it you look for in a man? So the guys that's listening, they can pop up in your DM. Go ahead, put it out there.
Right, right. Um, I look for a man. Do we have chemistry? Like that's most important. Do we have the same goals? Because you can have all the chemistry in the world, but if our end game isn't the same, it's not gonna work. Um, and obviously a guy that's employed. I'm not really that picky because I know, and I know you hate it when I'm graphic and shit, but I've been with beautiful, large and in charge guys. And but their personalities were shit and it never fucking work out. And then I've been with like square dudes, you know, and we were in a relationship for the longest. So it, these things, I'm not really picky. I don't really put men into boxes. It's do I like you or not?
Wow,
But that's just me personally.
your first two response was putting men in a box. Talk about you don't like putting men in a
Um,
box. Gotta have the same goal. He gotta have a job. We gotta have good chemistry. What? The chemistry is what you make it. You don't go into a relationship knowing what the chemistry is gonna be. Where she went to? she dropped out. Yeah, we don't go into relationships aiming to make the relationship perfect. As we learn each other,
Sorry
we
about that.
become greater at who we are. You know, so
Yeah, but
but your favorite word, but
yeah. No, like I put everybody in a mental box, but that's not gonna stop me from talking to you. Like, you know.
I feel you. I feel you. it it was great. It was great conversing with you. Don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. Hold on. For those of you that would like to participate in the live, please send me a friend request about mental Rolodeck. Um, for those of you that's watching, please like and subscribe on YouTube, follow on Twitter, Instagram, IG, Twitch, etc. And if you like to listen to the podcast, please go to Apple Podcasts. Oh man, I be forgetting these things. We're gonna get a lot better. We're gonna get a lot better. So I'm about to tell you them right now. You can go to Pocket Cast. You can go to Breaker Audio. You can go to Radio Public. You can go to Google Podcasts and Spotify, where you can find the Mental Rolodeck podcast. You have anything you would like to leave with the men and women, Chantries? Any motivation?
Um there's no motivating these lame dudes out here. Like no, no, there is hope, and it really, honestly, at the end of the day, it's all about trial and error. The more you put yourself out there and date, the better you'll understand, you'll learn, and you'll get. So, yeah.
Okay. She just gave y'all that half-ass ending, but I got you. um, like she stated, there is hope, but you have to know that within yourself, right? And you got to find that happiness within you first. Stop overthinking things. Stop going into relationship with certain expectation. Pay attention to your partner. Realize who they are for who they really are. Don't create an illusion within your head indicating that this is what they should be or this is what they can become. That causes problem in the relationship. Stand firm and work at it. True success happens and lasts longer with incremental steps. And with that, I say peace.